As Ozarks Season 4 prepares to usher the series to an end, we see the Byrde family still knee-deep in their issues. Who knows what's in store for the family in the two-part final season? Let's jump right into everything we know about the insane ongoings of this season and other Ozark-related news. First, Wendy has gone off the rocker. Now, it seems like her own interests are finally taking precedence over her family, for which she previously would do anything in order to save them. However, in seemingly very uncharacteristically Wendy's behavior, she nearly let Darlene Snell die of a heart attack on her front lawn before calling the paramedics. Similar to the way Marty operates, Wendy is usually a very calculated and meticulous character, making the two of them a fantastic team while figuring out how to navigate the cartel. She earned herself a good favor from Omar Navarro himself due to her intelligence and attitude. Albeit letting a woman nearly die on her property isn't necessarily looking like a decision made by the same woman. Fans need to know that this isn't the only time the two women clash this season. While feigning concern for baby Zeke, Wendy calls child services on Darlene towards the climax of part 1. The baby was left unattended while Darlene recovered from her heart attack. It is definitely worth mentioning that this baby was stolen from his father, the pastor who killed himself after being involved with the Byrdes. Wyatt stepped in to marry Darlene and step up as the child's father to avoid him being dropped into the foster system because he was set to be taken away from Darlene as a direct consequence of Wendy's actions. What happens to Darlene Snell? Let's get one thing straight. Whether you hate or love her, you have to agree that this woman is absolutely insane. Over the course of Ozark, fans have not been able to get enough of her wild antics. This season will prove to be no different because you can expect the typical unhinged behavior for Darlene that fans have grown to know and love. It is common knowledge at this point that she is 100% truly capable of murder. She literally murdered her own husband by poisoning his morning coffee. However, seeing her shoot someone isn't any less jarring because of this. In fact, she shoots two men point blank in the chest with a shotgun. The image of a man with a hole in his chest flying across the room isn't something that really leaves the mind, now is it? Next, Jonah following in his father's footsteps. The same could be said for their children when speaking about Marty and Wendy going through a metamorphosis throughout their stay in Ozark. Both of their children have been privy to the dealings of their parents since the very beginning of the show, even though neither one of them ever expressed interest in partaking in the whole money laundering situation. That was until this season rolled around. In this season, Jonah, who had previously bid to get his mother back in season 3 after finding out she was the one who had killed his uncle, now agrees to launder money for none other than Ruth Langmore, who is working for Snell's rival cartel. To further complicate things, it's essential to know that Jonah is only 14 years old. What chaos is Miss Langmore going to cause? The fiery, spunky, curly-haired redneck with a colorful vocabulary is arguably the most popular character within Ozark. Ruth Langmore has been a standout character since the beginning of the show. She finds herself in the midst of various illegal dealings, and while she does have a knack for it, the young redhead doesn't feel like she has a true home or family in her town. Ruth begins working for Darlene after she quits the Missouri Belle, which is the Byrdes' boat casino, in hopes of putting the knowledge she gained working with Marty to good use. Unfortunately for Ruth, Darlene is a volatile and unpredictable woman, so for Ruth, finding less threatening options is far more suitable. She quickly bails on the operation after the hot chef she gets involved with nearly dies on a trip to the Missouri Belle. Electing to let bygones be bygones, she makes amends with her longtime rival, Frank Jr. from the Kansas City mob, and forms a partnership. This falls through and plunges the mob into chaos. Ruth is trying to get out of the Ozarks to start something new by the end of part 1 because there is nothing but disappointment for her here. Why are fans so fond of Ozark? Fans are over the moon for another tumultuous season, following the Byrde family and their oh-so-very complicated relationship with the Navarro drug cartel, especially with the 4th and final season hitting Netflix screens earlier this year. There's no shock behind why Ozark amassed such a huge fan following since its premiere in 2017. The series is chock full of twists and turns that leave your jaw on the floor, award-winning performances from the cast, and some of the best written characters seen on television in a long time. There's no wonder why Ozark has seen such great success. The Byrdes are knee-deep in their problems and can't seem to pull themselves out by the time season 4 rolls around. Showrunners chose to break the final season into 2 parts to usher the series out with a bang. There are 7 episodes in the first part, all of which are currently available to stream on Netflix. There are still plenty of questions left unanswered about what's to come. The The first part of the final season bombarded viewers with jaw-dropping moments. Ozark definitely did not disappoint with its long-awaited final season. However, there is still plenty to figure out before the season wraps up for good. It's likely that the creators broke the season into 2 parts to let both parts be eligible for awards. So expect the second half to drop in June 2022, right after Emmy nomination cutoffs. When will part 2 air? Considering that the first part of the 14-episode series was released on January 21st, stop refreshing your Netflix tabs because it will not drop anytime soon. If you've already binge-watched your way through the nail-biting first part of the final season, then you'll just have to hold your horses because Netflix has not yet announced a release date for the second part. Showrunner Chris Mundy explained that he felt the last season needed 2 parts in an interview with The Wrap. Mundy always thought that 5 was the apt amount of seasons to close out the show. The decision for them was always between 4 or 5 seasons. Making a longer 4th season and splitting it into 2 parts felt like the right decision for them. They also felt that the traditional 10-episode season just didn't do justice to the ending of the series. He went on to say that they truly believed that they could make the first 7 episodes and the next 7 feel complete even if they're in a continuum. 10 was too little for him, so any number of episodes above 10 but under 20 was the way to go. The showrunner and team are thrilled that Netflix recognized that Ozark needed more time to end the Byrde saga with justice. He went on to say that it has been a great adventure for them all, both on and off screen, and so they are truly thrilled that they're able to give the series a proper send-off. Bateman, the frontrunner of the show, also stated that he's excited to send the show off with big bangs. Yes, plural. Fans will be pleased to know that Mundy has confirmed the next 7 episodes, even though Netflix seems to be holding back on a release date for part 2. Can fans expect a trailer for part 2? On January 6th, the full trailer for part 1 dropped, and it was jam-packed with little nuggets of information to keep us hooked to our screens. Navarro tells Marty that the greatest threat always comes from inside while referring to his own nephew, Javi, who plotted against him. This could be a hint at there being a betrayal looming within the Byrdes. It's no secret that Jonah's relationship with his parents has been fractured after his uncle was murdered. The resentment following this tragedy caused him to push his parents, Wendy in particular, away. It's yet to be seen how far this grief-induced grudge will push Jonah. There's no news of a trailer for part 2 yet, but undoubtedly it will be bursting at the seams with more cryptic clues. Regardless of what is in store for the Byrdes and other residents of Ozark, we're sure the showrunners will give this fan-favorite series the send-off it deserves. Fans will not be disappointed with what the final season has to offer, just like they've never been disappointed with seasons before. That's it for today, folks, but we'll be back with more interesting videos. To stay informed about the entertainment industry, keep watching our videos. Tell us what you're expecting from the second part of the final season of this well-loved crime drama by sounding off in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe before leaving. Over and out.